Do you know how humiliating it is to have a son who can't swim?
So you expect me to be a gourmet chef, raise 8 kids, and look beautiful 24 hours a day?
Too much?
You owe me $400.
Uncle Phil, can you just pay him and let's go?
No. I think I'm getting a lot better, don't you?
Welcome to the briny deep, where none of our prices are ever too steep. We've got fresh fish, you can look in our tank. To get to the bathroom, make a left at the plank. Follow me.
Who can forget that straight-fire American sitcom, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Out of the car now.
That show was low-key a masterpiece. It aired on NBC from September 10th, 1990 to May 20th, 1996, and it was everything and more. Everybody was talking about it, and we were hooked.
Carlton, at the forefront of the civil rights movement.
The series starred Will Smith as a fictionalized version of himself, a street-smart teen from West Philly who gets sent to live with his wealthy aunt and uncle in Bel-Air, L.A. And, man, his lifestyle was like oil and water with his upper-class relatives.
Gee, when Janice described him, she didn't mention that he was tall.
But here's the tea. This show was Will Smith's breakthrough role into TV, and later, his star-studded career. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Get ready for 16 mind-blowing facts about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that'll leave you screaming for more. So, are you ready for this? Let's dive in. Number 16. Will Smith was initially reluctant to star in the movie. Y'all get ready for the wildest origin story ever.
Jazz's crib.
Crib, house-dwelling domicile.
How did you know that? Hip-hop flashcards?
Will Smith's rise to fame was sparked by a chance encounter at the Arsenio Hall show where he met Medina, the mastermind behind the movie. Medina pitched the idea to Smith, but he was hella skeptical. After all, he'd never acted before. But Medina wasn't giving up. He hooked Smith up with the legendary Quincy Jones, who was throwing a party at his crib in December '89. That's where things got real. Jones handed Smith a script and challenged him to audition for Tartikoff on the spot. Smith crushed it, and the rest is history. They drew up the contract that night, riding high in a limo. It was a straight-up fairy tale. Smith landed the role, and his career went from 0 to 100 real quick. But here's the craziest part. The whole movie was written and taped in just 3 weeks. Talk about a whirlwind. It was like the stars aligned and everything just clicked.
You look so delicious without those glasses. Won't you take them off for your little Hillary?
Smith's success was a wild combination of talent, hard work, and pure, dumb luck. Number 15. Will Smith was going through a divorce during filming. Behind the scenes of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith was going through some real-life drama. He was in the midst of a divorce from his first wife, and it was taking a toll on him. He'd show up on set looking down, and his homie Alfonso Ribeiro could see the pain in his eyes. Alfonso wanted to be there for his boy, to offer some words of encouragement and help him through the tough times. But Will's a fighter, and he eventually bounced back from the heartbreak. He regained his spark, and the rest, as they say, is history. The writers of this show were low-key preparing for the worst, crafting those 3rd, 4th, and 5th season finales like they might be the last goodbye, just in case the show got the axe. But here's the twist. By the time they got to that 6th season finale, they knew it was a wrap. The show was ending, and they had to make it count.
Wish him all the best for me.
I will.
And let's get to the ratings, because that's where things get real. Season 3 was on fire. breaking U.S. ratings records like it was nobody's business. But fast forward to season 6, and it's a whole different story. Those numbers were in the toilet, the lowest of the whole series. Talk about a wild ride. Y'all, we got a major shout-out coming in. Philip Banks, the OG patriarch, actually landed a spot on TV Guide's coveted list of the 50 greatest TV dads of all time.
How come he don't want me, man?
And we're talking top-tier recognition, folks. He's sitting pretty at number 34, rubbing shoulders with the creme de la creme of TV dads. That's what we call legacy, people. Hold up, y'all. NBC thought they were ghosting the Fresh Prince after season 4.
Ah, this is the best day of my life.
Wait, even better than the day you met the Van Patten family?
Leaving fans high and dry with the Philadelphia story as the series finale. But the people had other plans. Fans went hard, bombarding Will Smith and NBC with letters and pleas to bring the show back. And you know what? It worked. The network caved, and the show was resurrected for 2 more seasons. But all good things must come to an end. Joseph Marcel, a.k.a. Jeffrey the Butler,
Yo, we having a party? Oh, so we can get stupid, right? For some of us, that will require very little effort indeed.
dropped a bombshell. He was piecing out to return to the UK, and just like that, the rest of the cast was like, peace out too. The show was done, and that was a wrap. Y'all, get ready for some serious tea. Janet Hubert, the OG Aunt Vivian, was killing the game from seasons 1 to 3, but behind the scenes, it was a whole different story.
Well, while you're thinking about it, you're going to get yourself a job.
Okay.
Tensions were running high between Hubert, the producers, and Will Smith. And by 1994, she was out of there. The producers tried to keep her on board with a 12/25th contract for season 4, but she was all, nah, I'm good. Daphne Reed slid into the role from seasons 4 to 6.
Ashley or none of the above?
She's 18.
Good answer.
And according to Alfonso Ribeiro, the whole cast was one big happy fam, except for Janet Hubert, who was reportedly a handful to work with. James Avery even spilled the tea, saying he had to constantly remind Hubert that the show was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, not Philip and Vivian of Bel-Air. Talk about a diva vibe. Y'all, talk about a plot twist. Jada Pinkett Smith auditioned for the role of Lisa, but got rejected. And it wasn't just because of her acting skills. Apparently, the producers thought she and Will Smith lacked that spark. And let's be real, they were worried about their height difference too. But little did they know, fate had other plans. Fast forward 3 years, and Jada and Will are tied down, as in married. They've got 2 mini-me's and are still going strong to this day. Who knew rejection could lead to a lifetime of love? Will Smith's rise to fame wasn't without its major setbacks. Word on the street is he owed the IRS some serious cash, and we're talking major debt. To make matters worse, he had to fork over a whopping 70% of his salary from the first 3 seasons of The Fresh Prince to pay off those debts from his former music career. Talk about a financial low blow. Y'all, this show was straight fire. It's legendary for having a crazy long list of celebrity guest stars. We're talking over 40 A-listers making appearances throughout the series. But here's the juicy part. Seasons 1 and 6 were the ultimate celebrity takeovers.
You can call me Oprah.
You got it, Ope. Oprah.
Each of those seasons had over 10, yes, 10 celebrity guest stars showing up and bringing the heat. Will Smith was so green when he started on The Fresh Prince, he'd memorized the entire script for each episode, not just his own lines. But here's the kicker. To help him remember his own dialogue,
Shouldn't I be spending some time with my mom? I mean, she sees me so little, and I'm growing so fast.
he'd lip-sync the lines of his co-stars while filming. Yeah, you can imagine how annoying that got for the rest of the cast. And if that wasn't enough, Smith's constant flubbing of his lines caused major tension between him and Tatiana Ali, a.k.a. Ashley Banks.
Since when do I have to ask you kids twice?
Every
Story time, Mommy.
It was a rocky start, but they eventually got their groove on. Vinay Watson Johnson, who played Will Smith's mom, is only 14 years older than him.
I'm sorry, I followed it as much as I could. What was I supposed to do, sit on it all day?
Talk about a close age gap.
Oh, thanks, baby.
That does it. I'm getting me a white man.
And if that's not wild enough, Janet Hubert, the OG Aunt Vivian, was only 12 years older than Will Smith. And get this, she was only 10 years older than Karen Parsons, who played her on-screen daughter.
We got arrested.
Arrested?
By who? The fashion police?
That's some crazy family math right there. Y'all, get ready for some iconic dance history. Alfonso Ribeiro, aka Carlton Banks, is the mastermind behind the legendary Carlton Dance.
It's not unusual to go out.
When he first peeped the script, it just said Carlton Dances, no specifics, no nothing. But Ribeiro took that vague cue and ran with it, creating a dance move that had become synonymous with his character. And here's the tea. Ribeiro's inspiration for the Carlton Dance came from two unexpected places. Eddie Murphy's hilarious white boy dance.
Y'all got one dance y'all can do. Y'all can do this shit like this.
And Courtney Cox getting down in Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark music video. Who knew? Get ready for a shocking tale of Hollywood hustle and heartache. The actress who played Will's mom in the iconic intro, you know, the one rocking a shower cap, while the voiceover drops that classic line.
Certainly not taking any food out of your mouth.
Got played big time. She auditioned for a role, but either got cut from the pilot or had her audition reel hijacked for the opening credits. And the worst part? She never saw a dime for that appearance. No pay, no royalties, no nothing. That's a major violation of union rules, fam. Fast forward to the 90s, and this talented actress was struggling to make ends meet. She was even homeless for a hot second, but she kept grinding, making appearances at the Ice House in Pasadena as a stand-up comedian. It's unclear what happened to her after that, but one thing's for sure. Her story's a cautionary tale about the dark side of Tinseltown. And here's the twist. When Will's mom shows up alongside the cast in 15 episodes, she's played by a whole different actress, the talented Vinay Watson.
Girl, stop it! No, just to help around the house a little bit.
Talk about a plot thickener. Number 3, the writer's room was reportedly toxic to work in. According to Emily Nussbaum's 2017 profile on Genji Kohan, the show's writer's room was a hot mess. Kohan, who was a staff writer back in the day, spilled the beans about the toxic work environment. The staff, which included Will Smith's bodyguard and cousin, kept crazy hours and was at each other's throats 24/7. But that wasn't even the worst of it. The writer's room was also a breeding ground for cruel pranks. Someone actually peed in a colleague's tequila bottle. And let's not even get started on the racist and sexist nickname they gave Kohan, the only white woman on the staff. It's crazy to think that this was the environment that produced one of the most iconic TV shows of the 90s. Talk about drama, drama, drama. Get ready for the ultimate reunion. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air crew virtually linked up on Will Smith's Snapchat series, Will From Home, back in April 2020. But that was just the beginning. The real magic went down on HBO Max in November 2020 when the surviving OG cast members reunited for the Fresh Prince reunion. And let me tell you, it was an emotional roller coaster.
The TV reunion that we needed in 2020. We've been waiting so long for this.
Hey, yo, you looking like you about to tell my business.
About to.
Janet Hubert, the OG Aunt Viv, made a surprise appearance, and it was a moment of pure closure.
But what you didn't realize either, that I was going through a lot at home.
Mm-hmm, right.
You didn't know.
Yep.
You guys didn't know. Very abusive marriage.
She and Will Smith had a heart-to-heart, and they finally squashed their beef.
I could not do a 30-year celebration of this show.
Hubert opened up about her tumultuous personal life.
I lost everything. Reputation, everything, everything.
Including an abusive marriage, and set the record straight about her exit from the show. Turns out, she wasn't fired. She just turned down a shady deal to return for season 4. Will Smith owned up to his past mistakes, admitting that he was struggling to cope with his rapid rise to fame. The reunion show also paid tribute to the late James Avery, and man, it was a tearjerker. The entire cast was moved to tears, and it was a beautiful moment of healing and closure. The Fresh Prince reunion was the ultimate trip down memory lane, and we're so here for it. Number 1, Will Smith co-produced a reboot of the movie. In August 2020, the news dropped that Will Smith and Morgan Cooper were teaming up to revive the iconic series Bel-Air. Cooper's viral YouTube trailer,
"This time we'll try to make you forget who you are and where you came from,"
had been making waves for over a year, and the big guns were lining up to snag the series. Netflix, Peacock, and HBO Max were all throwing their hats into the ring, but in the end, Peacock came out on top. On September 8th, 2020, Peacock gave Bel-Air a 2-season green light, with Universal Television producing and copyrighting the series. Fast forward to September 2021, and the full cast was finally announced. Newcomer Jabari Banks landed the coveted role of Will Smith, alongside Adrian Holmes as Philip Banks, Cassandra Freeman as Vivian Banks, and Ali Sholatan as the infamous Carlton Banks. The rest of the cast brought the heat too. Coco Jones as Hilary Banks, Akira Akbar as Ashley Banks, Jimmy Akingbala as Jeffrey, Jordan L. Jones as Jazz, and Simone Joy Jones as Lisa. The wait was finally over in February 2022, when the series premiered and the world got to see the new Bel-Air in all its glory.
A real man also knows how to look another man in the eye when they're saying something. Look at me. I believe in you, Will.
That's a wrap, y'all. The Bel-Air movie was a straight-up global phenomenon that had us all hooked. And hold up, I got a bonus fact that's about to blow your mind. Almost every major publication back in the day crowned it one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. But that's not all. This movie was a box office beast, smashing records and snagging nominations from the big dogs. It's wild, right? The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is forever iconic, and Will Smith brought the fire. That's a feat that's still unmatched, and we're still reeling from the impact.